student. I'm Mrs. Harsha Dhopre from Praveen Patel Polytechnic, Bhayandar. And today we are going to study last part of our chapter 4. Learning outcomes of these videos are, after watching this video, you will be able to know about risk management. Then let's start our topic. Then we'll see the definition of risk management and the definition of risk. Then definition of risk. First we'll see what is the risk. That risk denotes the uncertainty that may occur in the choices due to past actions and risk. That particular risk is something which causes heavy loss. Then definition of risk management. Risk management refers to the process of making decisions based on an evaluation of the factors that threats to the business. There are some activities that are carried out by the risk management. Before that, we will study software risk. There are two characteristics of risk. The risk may or may not happen. It shows the uncertainty of the risk. And second characteristic is when that particular risk occurs, unwanted consequences or losses will occur. Then different types of software risk or risk are project risk, technical risk, business risk. First, project risk. Project risk arise in the software development process. Then they basically affect budget, schedule, staffing resource and requirement. When project risk become several or it will occur frequently, then the total cost of project gets increased. Second is technical risk. These risks affect quality and timeliness of the project. If technical risks become reality, then potential design implementation, interface verification and maintenance problem gets created. Technical risk occur when problem becomes harder to solve. The next is a business risk. Business risk can be categorized as market risk, strategic risk, sales risk, management risk and budget risk. First is the market risk. When the quality software product is built, but if there is no customer for this product, then it is called market risk. That is, no market for the product. Second is a strategic risk. When a product is built and if it is not following the company's business policies, then such a product brings strategic risk. Third is sales risk. When a product is built but how to sell is not clear, then such a situation brings sales risk. Then management risk. When senior management or responsible staff leaves the organization, then management risk may occur. Then budget risk. Losing the overall budget of the project is called a budget risk. That's all about the software risk. Then next, known risk. There are two types of known risk, predictable risk and unpredictable risk. Predictable risks are the kind of risks that can be identified in advance based on past project experience. And unpredictable risks are those risks that cannot be guessed earlier. Then we will study risk management. Then what is the risk management? To avoid that particular risk, what we can do, it will be considered as a risk management. and we will study activities that are carried out for risk management. We will study risk identification, risk assessment, risk containment and RMMM strategy. Then let's start with risk identification. Risk identification can be defined as the efforts taken to specify threats to the project plan. Risk identification can be done by identifying the known and predictable risk. Risk identification is based on two approaches: generic risk identification and product specific risk identification. Normally, risk identification is done by project manager who follow the mainly two steps. First is step 1 is preparation of risk item checklist and second step is creating risk components and drivers list. And first, we'll see preparation of risk item checklist. In this, the risk item can be identified by using following known and predictable components. First is the product size, business impact, customer characteristics, and process definition, development environment, staff size and experience, and technology to be built. Then second step is creating risk components and drivers list. In this, the set of risk components and drivers list is prepared along with their probability of occurrence. Then their impact on the project can be analyzed. And let's understand which are the risk components and drivers. Then we'll see risk assessment and risk containment. Risk assessment. Risk assessment, it is done during the project planning. In this phase, the risks are identified, analyzed, and then prioritized on the basis of analysis. The risk assessment is done throughout the project. It is most needed at the starting phases of the project. The goal of the risk assessment is to prioritize the risks that require an attention. Risk identification, that is mainly the first step in the risk assessment, which identifies all the different risks for a particular project. Various methods that can be used to identify the risk are preparing checklists for identifying the risk, conducting surveys and meeting, having brainstorming sessions. The next, we'll see risk containment. The risk containment, basically it means the reduction of risk. The project manager and team will be able to identify the strategies or some process to minimize or eliminate the risk factor. Consider that example, if a particular project is there and it is facing the high risk problem due to lack of experience in development platform, then in that case the recruiter or hiring expert contractor can control this particular risk by hiring the skilled and experienced employee for the desired project. Lots of high risk factor can be eliminated, reduced during the risk assessment. Then next last topic, that is RMMM strategy. RMMM stands for risk mitigation, monitoring and management. These three issues is strategy for handling the risk is risk avoidance, risk monitoring and risk management. Risk mitigation, first we study. Risk mitigation means it is used mainly to prevent a risk to occur. Following are the steps to be taken for a particular risk mitigation. First, communicate with the connected staff to find out the probable risk. Find out and eliminate all those causes that can create risk before the project starts. Then, develop a policy in an organization which will help to continue the project even though some staff leave the organization. Everybody in the project should know the current development activity. Then, to maintain the corresponding documents in timely manner. The documentation should be strictly as per the standards set by the organization. The next, conduct timely reviews in order to speed up the work. The next, you'll see risk monitoring. In this monitoring process, there are some things that must be monitored by the project manager. The approach or the behavior of the team members as pressure of project varies. The degree in which the team performs with the spirit of teamwork. The type of cooperation among the team members, and then the types of problems that are occurring within the particular work. Then availability of jobs within and outside the organization. The objective of risk monitoring is to check whether the predicted risk really occurs or not, to ensure the steps defined to avoid the risk are really applied properly or not, to gather the information which can be used for analyzing the risk. And the last topic, that is risk management. Project manager performs this task when risk become a reality. If the project manager is successful in applying the project mitigation effectively, then it becomes very much easy to manage the risk. For example, consider a particular scenario in that many people are leaving the organization. Then, if sufficient additional staff is available, the current development activity is known to everybody in that particular team. If latest and systematic documentation is available, then any newcomers can easily understand the current development activity. This will ultimately help in continuing the work without any interval. That's all about the topic risk management. In this topic, we have studied some risk management strategies and the RMMM strategy. Okay, how to avoid that particular risk. Thank you for watching this video.